Hi, welcome to Najee Talks. I'm the real Najee Hampton, and this is the place where we have people come in with discussions under the umbrella of lifestyle and have them come on and talk. Today we have Tanna Nash. Hey Tanna.
Hi.
Tell them about yourself.
I am Tanna Nash. I went to King Drew with Mr. Hampton. Just recently graduated with my MBA.
Nice.
I currently work for the city of Inglewood. Getting married in September.
Oh.
Just living a life, trying to figure this thing out at 26. Guess I'm pretty normal, I would say, and just got into the whole spiritual things. I think that's what we're going to talk about today. Just a little about me in a nutshell.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, so let's go on and get started then.
All right.
All right, so first question. How would you describe the mindset that you had during your pre-spiritual lifestyle with relationships?
So before, I used to be a very worried and anxious person, I would say, and I think a lot. So I was constantly thinking about just what could go wrong, what could go right, how can I plan for today, how can I plan for yesterday, what went wrong yesterday, like just constantly thinking, and I personally wouldn't say like I wasn't really at peace, I don't think I would say, because when you're worried like that, it's just hard to be peaceful or enjoy the moments of life, I guess you would say. So I think while my relationship was good, it wasn't at its best, and there was a lot of times where I feel like we reverted back to, I guess, past instances or past experiences that were not spiritual based, and so they were never really resolved or never really being worked out, and so we were never really, while we were moving forward, I think it just wasn't in the sense that we should have been, especially on our way to marriage.
Right.
And so, pre-spiritual, and then just ways I thought of relationships, I don't think was in the right way. I probably didn't even have a sense of marriage maybe 10 years ago. It's not something I wanted to do. I had a very big thing on commitment. How am I going to be committed to one person for the rest of my life? That was very big for me because I'm like, how do people do this? I didn't think I could do that or want to do that. Just when you get, I guess, involved with your spiritual side and just start to learn God, it's just, you think of things different and things work differently in your life, and things just go a lot smoother. So pre-spiritual, I would just say I was just in a very different place that while it wasn't bad, it could have been better. And I went through a lot of struggles that I think were prolonged or longer than they should have been because I did not have that spiritual guidance or that spiritualness to rely on. So.
Have you had a chance to, I guess, go back into your past and maybe see, what was the reason, like what was that factor that basically like gave you that mindset?
I think partially with society. It's just we get so involved in Instagram and what this person is doing and seeing what that person is doing. It's like I did a lot of comparing my life, or am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm 17, am I supposed to be in a relationship, or just all these. Is this the right thing, and then what are you judging that by? Because it's not by the word of God, and you're doing that by what this man is doing or what you see that woman doing, and it's not really living your life. And I just reflect on a lot of the experience I had previously that I think I would have handled differently had I had spiritual guidance, or had some type of spiritualness in my life. Even I would say, like, more specifically, just if you can be vague, like just cheating and things like that. There was just a sense of the way that I thought of it, where it's like committing to a person is more than just, I'm going to be this person's girlfriend for this certain amount of time. Committing and actually giving your all to somebody and actually wanting to be in a union under God is just like, you live for a different purpose, or you live with a purpose that is different than what you were living before.
Right.
I don't think I was really living with purpose before. I probably was living or doing for a quick fix or something like that, but it wasn't really fulfilling. So just looking at those past experiences, it was fulfilling at the moment, but what did it do for me? Or how did it get me to where it got me to get? A lot of those past experiences, you look at it and you see it got you to a worse place, or you think you were doing good or doing better. And the situation, like I said, just could have been different had I had this guidance. So, yeah.
So, from my perspective, as a young male, growing up, didn't have a father in the house.
Right.
And also, so me and my siblings were adopted by family.
Okay.
And so we were raised, me and my brother down, we were raised by my great aunt. So it's like a generation gap.
Okay.
It's like kind of helps too at the same time. But then, kind of hurts as well because they don't get you.
Right.
But at the same time, they already passed all those, just like whatever that generation did at the time, or whatever they grew up on, and like how their attitudes and moods were. How a lot of parents how they acted and stuff was different than how we were raised because they weren't like that. They didn't grow up the same way, whatever.
Right.
But just like not having the father, like she tried to do both, you know how it works, but it doesn't work. So what happens is we were around the family a lot. We used to go. We had my family on my dad's side from Tennessee.
Right.
So we had we did a lot of gatherings at my grandmother's house and stuff, and it was all nice and wholesome and stuff, whatever. But the people that you're influenced by aren't even like old enough to even like bounce back.
Right.
And so the thing is everybody is we're just being influenced. So the thing is my male experiences were either older siblings or older cousins or something.
Right.
And the thing is they had the mindset of being a player, And so that mentality was taught on me. And then so the thing is as you grow, how you're nurtured, you already have that mentality of not really caring as much. You don't really think about things the same way that you normally that person should, about things and people's feelings and stuff. And so the thing is, I didn't really have many relationships. It was I was really shy and weird growing up. So, but when high school came around, I had eventually grew up and stuff, whatever.
Right.
So got out of my shell, and then when that happened, I got a lot of attention. And then so somebody that's not used to getting attention, then randomly gets it.
Right.
So my ego was
shocked.
Big-headed. I was big-headed. And so, I'm thinking I'm the thing, what up? You know what I'm saying?
I knew you in high school. Don't forget. You and Jax. I remember.
Yeah, that team.
I remember.
And so yeah, you think things differently. And then even when you have your friends, guys, they think the same way. They're they don't have that mentality to be well, this is right and this is wrong. They're just it's kind of a number, I guess, whatever. Honestly, we kind of did have a deal senior year.
How many ladies can you get?
By the end of the year.
Let me find out.
It was how many?
Finding this out 10 years later.
That's 10 years later. Yeah.
No, but I get that. I think I've had that mentality on the flip. So for me, my dad was not in my life either. And so sometimes a lot of women will take that, I want somebody to love me, bro. But for me, it was more so, my dad didn't love me, why do you? You know what I mean? A lot of men, they let it tell you, I love you, I'm into you. Why? The man that was supposed to love me did not.
Right.
So why would I believe you, who just know me for 6 months to a year?
Yeah.
Or even with my dude now, it took me a long time to realize that just because society tells you every man cheats, does not necessarily mean this man is out there cheating. But it's everywhere. So it messes up your mentality at a certain point because it's why is 100% of people that I see doing it and you're not? Bruh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can see that.
And it's kind of but you can't take that out on this man and you don't even have, what do you have to say that he's doing that? You know what I mean? But society will all your friends are going through something and it's how am I the only one sitting over here not going through? You know what I mean? It actually took me a long time to really realize, and like I said, I've had my past too, so part of it is you haven't got revenge on me and really just out here not doing nothing. But it's just like after being together with him for 8.5 years and you're not that good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way in 8.5 years, well, if you are that good, you're amazing, that nothing's come across me. But I had to deal with that too. And I think society will really mess you up with, you will not be just together. Like, you can't just be one and one.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a side piece, or always going to be something, because you see it on Love and Hip Hop, you see it on TV, you see it with your own family, and it's just like, what sets me apart? But then it takes me back to my spirit and tells me how blessed I am. Not everybody's gonna get this life, but you've gotten it. You're in a certain good place. You have a job, you have your own house. This man is only with you. You know what I mean? And so you really just start to think of the blessings you have, and it's like, that's crazy. I can be in a worse place than this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who are in worse places than this. Or even better places, but it's just to be in my lifestyle and to realize the blessing that I have, it just starts to overshadow everything else.
So the piggyback off of your blessings, right? So the thing is, so my my longest and best relationship was in college, like 3 years. So anyway, so I came out here, back home, loving it. Grad school, about to be a doctor in a year, right? Whatever. So I'm doing my thing. Right. And then as things go, it's like especially like now. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 up and coming businesses. Right. You feel me? Doing my thing. Back in school, you know what I'm saying? About to do it, do it big, whatever. But the things you see, like me accepting the business, because I have a great relationship with my family too with that, and then I have great relationship with friends and everything. So it's like great. I love my life. Right. See, the thing is, I feel like you can't have everything. And so I feel like the relationship part for me is the part that I can't have.
Not true.
Well, the thing is right now. I'm gonna say right now. Okay. Because the thing is, from what I've been seeing, is a lot of the women, I guess this is more so, I guess they expect, like you were saying, expect me to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I got going for me. Right. You feel me?
And the more you have going for you, it's like the more they expect you to have more and more and more. Because it's like, you got your own place and your own money and your own stuff. Yeah. Why are you not taking it? Or,
Yeah. And so that's the issue. And so that thing is I feel like that's a big thing. Right. And they expect something worse. Because the thing is, I have I grew up with the Southern mentality, the Southern hospitality. And then when I went to Tuskegee, it kind of,
manifested a little bit more.
Exactly. And so the thing is, that personality, I guess some consider maybe being like a mask.
Some people think it's fake.
Yeah. They're like, you're just too nice. Yeah, you're too nice.
Not normal, yeah.
Or you're too patient. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I've tried to create compromise with women before. And they're like, no. They're just stuck in their way, or they don't even want to try. I won't try. And that's the issue, so.
But you have to realize too, and that's another thing that I tell my friends all the time, God's timing is crazy. It's probably just not for you yet, or the women that you met are not the ones you should be with. Yeah. And it also depends on what are you praying for. Are you praying for women? Or a certain type of woman that you want? Or are you just out there leading?
I guess it's because the thing is, what I usually do is, I gotta have standards.
No, but you really have to, and God is very specific. You have to tell him, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, and you'll be surprised, and they may come in a friend, or as some other way that you're not expecting. Yeah. But really praying specifically, I think, for what you want, helps it just manifest itself.
Well, the thing is, I guess it's just I don't know. It's I don't know. I guess I don't want to expect too much. I don't know. Because the thing is, just all the women that I've interacted with, I've learned from. I've met women that have multiple businesses. And the thing is, I've learned a lot from them. Right. And that's what kind of boosted me up with mine. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the thing is, it's if I have some certain standards and stuff, whatever, and just didn't, just let things go, let them flow, I wouldn't even have met them, and I probably wouldn't even be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, most of the time I don't really go anywhere to purposely meet people. It's just a lot of times, it just happens, like you said, and so I'm really more so just, willing to like let things flow and like see how they're gonna go.
But those women serve the purpose.
Exactly, and so that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I can learn a lot.
Right. I mean, and I think that's another thing with my spirit. I've noticed that even when bad things happen, there's a lesson in it. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, he's not sending you stuff just to send it. So whatever you are going through, look for the lesson, look for what he's trying to teach you in it, and move on. But I recently had to deal with God too, because I went through a bad experience at work last week. And I realized, like, you've been praying so hard for God to show you what do you do with your degree. And it's like you keep going through bad stuff at work, but you're taking it bad, but it's like, is God showing you maybe you shouldn't be there? Maybe that's not the environment for you. That's why you keep experiencing what you're experiencing. You asked me where you should be, and I told you not here. And you know what I mean? Like, and you're scared. Right. But it's just like, I really had to realize, like, well, where is this coming from? Or what's going on? What is this teaching me? Because sometimes we go through change or go through a situation, it's like, oh my gosh, the world's going to end. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I think she's coming. You're doing all your right steps to get there. It'll be different if you weren't doing the right steps to get you to that place.
I just think it's just like, cause the thing is, it was like, so when in college, so in high school, I actually did without having a thought about it being off. Didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? And then college, whatever, came around. Same little player thing, whatever, And then, the grind of dating, it was kind of like playing it for everybody, and then you wean, and then, and then, but then the thing is, so what I did was I had some examples, some great examples of men that were in good relationships, been doing their thing. And so I looked up to them and used them as my example. And then I had another friend who was dating his girl from high school, who was still together, even though they was in different schools. And so he was just like, if you think about the relationship, like your girlfriend or the wife, then you don't have to change it when she becomes your wife. So that was a challenge for me. So I had to make sure I knew what I was doing when it came to somebody I was going to date next. So I basically put her through like a whole year of nothing specific, like just like no names or no titles, no nothing, the whole year. I'm surprised she lasted that long. But I had to wean everybody, and it was tough, but I did it. And then so after it was done, I made it official. And then so then my mindset was different at the time, and so I made it better. And so the thing is, it's like now it's like I can. Because the thing is, so I had a wall. The wall was up. The wall was broken down. My issue now is I don't want to put a wall back up.
I don't think you should.
I know. And see, that's the thing. So
Make it a fence.
Huh?
Make it a fence. You can climb over, you can look through. I don't think it should be a wall, but I mean, I think, like you said, you go through, you have your learning experience. So, and you're smart. So, I feel like some people don't take the signs in the early beginning. I mean, have fun, date. But in the first 3 months, if the signs are showing you something different, go with them. Don't go, oh, maybe she'll be different in 6 months. No, she kind of showed you who she was the first 3 months. And you got to be able to, like, maybe you're not for me. But, I feel like, because when I listen to people, I'm like, and then a lot of people don't communicate. It's like you said, you guys went through that and she stuck with you probably because you told her did you tell her from the beginning, like, this is what we're doing?
Well, we both had the mindset of not, we kind of had the same page of like not wanting anything in the beginning.
And so I think you have to stick to that. And unfortunately for a lot of girls will come out like, oh no, we're not looking for something serious. And the moment you do something, it's like, oh, I thought you were talking to me. No, we just communicated. It's not that serious, bro. So what are you mad? You know what I mean? So you just have to, I feel like a lot of people don't communicate exactly what you're looking for in the beginning. So 5 years, 3 years down the line, it's like, oh, why didn't you do this? Did you communicate that you wanted that? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I had one homeboy tell me, like, oh, I think I want to be proposed to. I'm like, you've been in your relationship for 3 years. Have you ever told her that? You're expecting that? Or
that's weird.
Right. But I feel like as a woman, I would have wanted you to tell me that in the first 6 months, and you'd be like, am I gonna really get on my knee for this nigga? Or, you know what I mean? Because if I'm not, then what are we doing?
Right.
It's just like people stay and it's just like, oh well, I don't really want kids. She wants kids. Let's stay together. Why? Like where?
Yeah, that's always an issue.
Or just, it could be smaller things, but it's like if you guys are combating on, you shouldn't have to compromise your wants.
Right,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
There's people out there who want the same thing as you. So it's just like, if people are telling you who they are in the beginning, or telling you what they want in the beginning, and it doesn't sound like something you might be interested in, you know what I mean? Then, oh, this was fun, but chunk it up and go about your business. I don't know. I'm just big on communication.
Okay, so in words, how would you describe your mindset post spirituality?
It's just centered around God now. Like, and I think before too, which was a big problem, I think I kind of made my fiance center of my world. And everything was about him. Like, oh, let me get home to him. Let me do this for him. Let me do. And I had to just tell my friend, I realized a lot of the stuff I was doing, it wasn't even stuff he asked me for. But yet I'm mad when it's not going that way, if that makes sense. If you're gonna do it out your heart. But nobody asks you to come home and be home at a certain time so you can be home at a certain time. If you're not communicating that. So at this point, I think now I center my life around God. And also at a certain point, I think I personally felt like I'm giving too much and he wasn't giving the same amount. But again, it was all under this man. And it's like, that's not what your life should be centered around. So just as I just start reading just different scriptures and just, I don't even read the Bible, to be honest. I just read this devotional that I got last year, and then I got one this year. It's just, I have so many questions, and then you read through it, and it answers your questions. Like, oh, what about change? What about bad things that happen? How do I handle that? How do I handle being a opposite in a relationship? Or, because he's a giver, I'm not. He gives a lot more than me, but I can't fault him for being who he is. You know what I mean? But then when I read the scriptures, like, giving is something the Lord says. You wonder why he's so blessed, but it's like because the Lord said you should give. So the boy gives all the time, and then you know what I mean. So and it's just different things where it's like I thought it was like, oh, he's just too free. No, maybe that's just his heart, and you know what I mean. That's who the person he is, and God's gonna bless him for it. Maybe you should learn to be more like that. Are just different situations that happen. Before I go crazy, I talk to God. And then I calm myself down and handle it a different way, I think, than pre-spiritual. Also, just like I said, we're both under God now. So we're working towards a common goal and under a common umbrella. So it's easier not to combat all the time with what. Tomorrow we're gonna be right back here in this place loving each other. And then for all that to happen, everybody cussing each other out, what is that for? Right. So now at certain points, okay, is this what you need? Let's handle it. I know you know me. Right. You need a minute? All right, let me give you a minute, but you also know I need to talk, so I'll see you in 15. But I mean, it's just, and then again, just knowing the word is just a different type of peace. And when you're peaceful, things don't affect you the same way as before when you were just worried and frantic and angry and stressed. It's just kind of bounces off like, oh, you like, okay, so was it Saturday or Friday? One of these days, I was out with my friend and I locked myself out of the house, but I didn't realize until I got home. So I called him like, hey, did you see my keys? And he's like, yeah, I seen them on the door hanger. I'm like, oh, I just let me leave with the keys right there. So you've seen them when I left, and you never not once thought to call and say, hey, T, you need these keys? I can go get back. But I mean, it's just, I feel like before I would have blew up. Like, what am I gonna do? Right. He's gonna come over here, fly, get you the key. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, take a minute, figure it out. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know that information. At least you want to do that. And then he called me back like, oh my God, did you get in? Like all worried, but it's just the way, just small things that used to blow up. It's just the way we handle things now. I think the way we move with each other, look at finances, just a lot of things are looked at in a different light where it's not that serious. Is it bigger than God? Is it bigger than, the relationship? No. So figure it out. Right. And then I think from him seeing me be more dedicated, so that's one thing too. I wasn't as spiritual at first, but now it's like I have to read my devotional every day.
Mm-hmm.
I pray every morning, and it's just, I think me doing that has also kind of rubbed off on him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure he prayed and stuff too, but he's seeing how devoted I am to it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she's not letting up on this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of feeds into him too. Like, I can tell him stuff that I've learned, you know, different things like that, where he's willing to. I think you're willing to take it more when you know somebody's serious. Like, oh, she got to studying this for a month.
Right.
This is now her lifestyle. You know what I mean? And just, I think by me also embodying that, he sees that my changes are lifestyle changes. It's not, oh, she's just not being petty for today. It's like, no, it's truly not who she is anymore, because it's not who she is anymore. You know what I mean? So I honestly think it's just guiding us to, I'm excited, like, to get married and just start this life under God, and just, what can we do to grow in our spirit? What can we do to grow under God? And it's just like constantly wanting to know Him, constantly being blessed. It just really seeing the fruits of it, I guess. Like, this is the life you get under God, opposed to the life you got before without it. Mm-hmm. And you just see a major difference. So hopefully that answers your question.
So this, so this kind of reminds me of a topic we were talking about in my clinical psychology course. We were talking about basically like the order of attention that you should give. Mm-hmm. So there's self, there's your spouse, and there's your child. Mm-hmm. And so basically how you were saying, you basically give yourself attention first. Mm-hmm. Because you can't help nobody else until you help yourself. My professor was saying, if you're like, you know, like when they say when you're in the airplane, and then the sign comes on, because it's like, oh, the mask. Mm-hmm. And say you put the mask on the child or something first.
And it's just like,
you can't help anybody if you pass up. Right. So you should put the mask on yourself first, then help everybody else, because you'll be able to move around and stuff. Right. That's smart. Mm-hmm. He was like, why do you tell us to not do that? Right. And so you give yourself first, right? Then once you're ready, then you give to the person, the spouse. And then one thing that we were talking about that was important was when it comes to your child. So the thing is, what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't give attention to your child over the relationship. Because the thing is, the child eats their sponge. And so the best thing to do is to show them what a good, healthy relationship looks like every day. And the thing is, the reason why you have spoiled children is because you have people that decide to focus on the child over the spouse.
I think that's so interesting, because I see that on Instagram a lot. Like, you ever see women in a relationship and then they have a kid and it's like, dude, where'd your dude go? But they're still there, it's like they're no longer.
Yeah, it's just a child.
Right, and that blows. I can't. I mean, maybe because I don't have kids, I always used to be like, well, maybe when you have your own. But that blows my mind. Like, you guys are a family.
Yeah.
And if you treat it like it's just you and the child, you're gonna be looking crazy when it's just you and the child a year from now. You know what I mean? And I'm sure everybody doesn't go off Instagram, but it's just like the fact that you see, like, oh, nope, it's just me and you now. That man is my baby's father, and we're no, like, you know what I mean? That's crazy that you say that, because I've always observed that, and I don't understand why women do that. Like you said, yeah. I mean, if you see the love and the child sees the love, I'm pretty sure the love is happen.
So I think part of that is, I guess, you know, like seeing how people are when their relationships are with their family and with their children. Because the thing is, like, we're just so used to like hearing baby mama, baby daddy thing or whatever. Right. And so you're always seeing it, you're always hearing it nowadays. And so it's a norm. Mm-hmm. And then when you're in a lifestyle where the people around you talk that way. Right. They're talking mess about the guy the whole time. Right. So now you're talking mess about him. Right. Now you really realize that you're doing it. Right. And then next you know, now you don't even care about him no more. Giving attention to the child, because the child is your life now. Like, number one, this is all I care about now. And then that throws it off, the equilibrium.
Right, I agree. No, I definitely agree. Even when it's like they're your boyfriend still, it's like, why is that your baby daddy? Why can't you be your boyfriend? And you have a dog. This is our family. This is like,
this is the father. Right. This is the father.
Right. I don't know. I never got that. And it's crazy because we want to have a baby like soon as we get married. So I'm very interested to see what the child will be like, and because I'm like, I'm gonna kill you if you leave, bro. That crap is hard, but that's an interesting observation.
But I've seen, just listening to you talk, kind of like I've known you from high school, so yeah, this is a truly transformation. And so the thing is, I'm sure that like how your mentality is now, you'll definitely be a great mother.
Thank you. Place me turned up tea. With all the shields. No, but yeah, it was just completely different life state. I didn't see myself Sally homemaker, want to be a wife, and now when I learn how to cook and
that's good.
I wash and it's fun to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just never thought that I would be here. And you don't drink your water to that, okay? No, I drink it. But you knew me. That wasn't.
Shit, you and Jocelyn.
That's what I'm saying. That was not us. Can I take you over? No, I'm just kidding. Like, we just weren't into that. So yeah, I mean, and now it's the kind of stuff that excites me. Like, you want to be around doing what? I'm not really into that. Talk to me when you're ready to do something different. But I mean, we all grow. So as long as I'm in a better place today than I was yesterday.
All right. So next question. So what was the deciding factor for your transition?
That's a good question. Where did this come about? Let's see. Don't really know. My sister did a really big transformation. She kind of used to be like the rah-rah type, and now she's like strictly. And I guess my biggest thing with this spiritualness used to be like, because I'm so logical that this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I think that was my biggest thing. Like, all of this is not chronologically right. Like, you can't have this without that. Like, this is not science. And I think you see people, like going to the gym, for instance. You see people go to the gym every day, and it's like, wow, they live a really good life. And you go one day, and you're like, wow, this feels pretty good. I could do this every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just one day, like, let me learn about him. And then it just became like an everyday thing to where it's like, I don't think you understand stuff until you truly like are in it. You know what I mean? So just reading it every day and then starting to apply it to my life. And it might have been me getting engaged to maybe. I wanted to be a better wife. Because to me, I feel like marriage, and that's another thing, like how we're saying about baby daddies and just relationships. I don't feel like marriage is portrayed in the right way in our society. Divorce rate was like up there.
Yeah.
A lot of people just get married just to get married. And then I just talked to a lot of people too, and it's just, I realized like, oh, they're together for 20 years, but after year 10, it's like this person's doing this, that person's doing that. They're no longer in love, you know what I mean? So just things like that actually terrify me. It's like, I guess that's why I never wanted to get married. It's like, I don't want to get married just for the sake of getting married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to do this marriage thing, let's do it to where 50 years from now we have our grandkids and we're sitting there, great-great-grandkids, and you know what I mean? We're building something. So when he proposed, and I think that was the thing too, like you said, we have to get ourselves right. Because people are like, well, why'd you guys wait so long? We're going to be together 9 years and you get married. Yeah, but we as people were not ready to be married yet.
Right.
And just because we've been together 5 years, it's still like, oh, we've been together 5 years, so let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I wanted. Let's you be in a good place to propose to me and actually want to be my husband.
Yeah.
And I had to get that through his head too. Like, boyfriend and husband, different, bruh. Or just like me, girlfriend and wife, different, bruh. Like, we split right now. No. Like, not even just finances, but it's just, your girlfriend is not your wife. And you know what I mean? If we're gonna go to the next step, then let's do this, right? So I think a little bit of all of that, and like I said, seeing my sister and different people, their lifestyle changes and their peacefulness and how happy they are. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, why are they so happy and this is going to their life? They should be sad. They should be miserable. You know what I mean? Like, or you just see people who are truly living the word, not people who just say they are, but people who are truly changed. And it's like, you experience a different type of joy and peace every day that I want that. How, you know what I mean? How do I get that? And my sister she just changed, and I just wanted to know, like, how are you so soft-spoken now? Or, why are you so nice? Or, you know, like, where is this coming from? And just like I said, reading it every day, and I think I got to a point where it's like I need it.
Yeah.
It's feeding me. You know what I mean? And then living it was like, wow, this is true. Like, God is real. Right? You know what I mean? Not that you didn't know before when you were little, but just learning it for yourself, not because somebody's telling you.
Right.
No, what is mine? And that, I think my granny comes down to like, yeah, you need your own relationship with God. Mm-hmm. What is my relationship with God? How do I relate to Him? How do I talk to Him? What do I know of Him? Mm-hmm. And just, I think building it into my everyday life is like, no, this is something I want and not something that I'm just gonna stop. I want to learn this. I want to feel this every single day. You know what I mean? So, and then just like I said, my blessings. These blessings ain't coming from nowhere.
Right.
You know, so not that you want to keep praying for the blessings, but I love knowing Him. Like I enjoy this. So how do I keep it going? Just, and like I tell people, you do it in your own way. I don't go to church every Sunday.
Right.
I literally read this devotional every single day. I may go back and read my notes someday. I read like different posts about it. I have different apps, but you get to know Him in your own way. You know what I mean? And your relationship is built in your own way. And I think before I was scared, it's like, oh, I'm not ready to go to church yet. I don't want to have a Bible study. Like, you know what I mean? Like you think you have to live a certain way, and of course, I think you think you have to live a certain way, and then once you start learning it, it's like, no, this makes you live that way. You want to live that way. It's not, oh, I have to. Once you know God, it's like, you know better, you do better. Now this is something I can do just freely, because this is me now. You know what I mean? So I think I just liked who I was becoming, like what I was learning, just like my lifestyle changes, and want to keep them. So I'm like, let me keep doing what I'm doing that I know works. So I think that's kind of what led me there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, next question. So I guess just more so, just kind of continuing on from that, like what has, I guess, like kept that drive for the spiritual lifestyle?
Just my experiences, and I think also the way I've been able to work in other people's life. You don't realize, I guess, like the big part you play in your friends and family life, especially when you get to a certain age, to have influence and motivate and inspire. It's like, who is the person you want to be?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just don't want to be like, oh, she's just. I want it to be somebody, but also somebody of substance. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm telling you is not just anything. It's based on what I've learned, what I lived, past experience. And I think I've gotten out, because people probably won't say I'm shy from high school. But I am shy with people I do not know.
That makes sense.
So I used to be very reserved as far as talking to people.
It's a cancer thing.
I think we just like to observe better than we talk.
Right.
And I think some of it was me like, oh, because this, again, not knowing word, it's just like, oh, they're smarter than me. Maybe I say something dumb. Let me see who they are. Are they going to like me? You know, things like that. So it's like, after you get to talk to so many people with so many different life experiences, I don't know, it just puts your life in perspective. Like, you start talking to people that've been through things that you couldn't even fathom, you know what I mean? Or have gotten to places that you couldn't even fathom, or 40 or 50 or 60 that are just giving you their experience. And even those who are involved with God, it's just, you start to compare and contrast, like, who do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Do I listen to the people who are out in the club and really not doing nothing, and they're not where I want to be anymore? Or do I keep following these people, you know what I mean, who have a life that's worth living, who have a life that I'm interested in? Even my boss is a Jehovah's Witness, and so she's not the same person as me, but just learning from her and the different ways they think. She don't celebrate her birthday, she don't celebrate any holidays. It's just, I think just experience too. I've really gotten open, like you said, to talk to people. Talking to people just really gives you a different type of, I don't know, perspective. Like, you would never know things about certain people if you don't talk to them. Right.
That's what I do the show for.
No, seriously. And when you learn things about people, it's just like, wow, like, you know, I don't know. I like being taught. And then I like the lessons that I'm being taught and the way I'm able to apply them with the work. I think I would have applied it a little differently had I not had the basis or the foundation that I'm building. You know what I mean? Even for my kids. It's like, do you want to raise them in a not so spiritual household? Because I wouldn't even say I'm religious. I think I'm spiritual. Like, I like to have the connection I have. But just like I said, I wanted to better prepare myself to be a wife, to be a mother, to be a business owner that I want to do. You know what I mean? Just to be the best friend that I could be. You know, I feel like I've learned to be a better friend with this. I kind of walk the talk better than I used to talk. Because we can easily say like, oh, I would love to help you. You know what I mean? But there's a big difference in driving over here and doing this talk. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I would love to. But, you know, so just different little things like that. And it's just like, you don't know the impact that may have on you or you may have on that person.
Right.
So, again, I think just the person I'm becoming, I love it. And I want to keep it going and keep building this relationship. So that's kind of, you know, it's helped me in love, it's helped me in career, it's helped me in every aspect. So why not?
That's great. So my lifestyle transformation started when I went to ski. So I'm the first one of my family to leave the States. The only one I'm in the state. So the only one we have a cousin that went to Arizona State. That's it. That's the first top. Everybody else stayed everybody in my family stayed in the state, up and down. First one to go to an HBCU. So it's like, I'm already like...
I should have been there.
Huh?
I should have been there.
Everybody should have been there. Ali should have been there. Man. Everybody should have been there. J-Rock, Rakim, everybody. So going there... So the thing is, it's like... I think what helps with my personality is it's easier for me to be, like, I guess, like, more by myself than with other people. Because so when we first started there was a time when, like, I hung out with like Jaffer and his brother a lot, and there was a lot of stuff that, you know, they would do normally that I just didn't like. And so I eventually branched off. Malik branched off with his people and stuff. Everybody did, you know, everything to that point. Yeah. And then so the thing is, luckily we had already met a lot of people by that time. And so when that spring came around, I had stopped hanging out with them. And then so the thing was, I was by myself, and so but the thing is, the only issues I had was just like eating. Like, you go to the cafeteria or whatever. So that was a social hall. It was really called a social hall. And so that was the thing. So I was like, man, like, I don't want to look like a loner. Right. So what happened was, basically, people were nice. So I would see people all the time because there'd be so many people I interacted with, like, just in that first semester. And so I would walk. And then people would be like, hey, girl, what's up? Oh, hey. I'm like, hey, what you? And I'm like, yeah. And then so then we just start talking. Having conversations with people more and more.
That's so
every day was like...
for a cancer.
You said what?
So normal for us for a cancer. That's so like, oh, this is good. Right.
So I was just like, every day was different people and stuff like that, whatever. So that was the only issue I had. Because I didn't care about like talking to people in my classes. So it didn't really bother me. Right. And then like maybe like a month or two in, I started hanging out with these guys. One was from New York and then one was from Atlanta. And then so we basically had like a little group. Like, we were basically like misfits. Right. We just do a bunch of random stuff. And then I eventually had met some other people because the guy from New York, he had known some other guys he knew. You know, they were all in the same dorm. Right. And so then we ended up all hanging out, you know, more and more. And so basically, like, so what I've been doing is, like, I've been, like, you know what I'm saying, like, diversifying my palette of friends. Because the thing is, Tuskegee was very diversified of people of our color, but different areas. And so the thing is, you experience so much just by interacting with different people. Right. Like, because it's like the talk is different and everything. Like, because even when we first got there, that we had beef with New York people for some reason. It was like East Coast versus West Coast. And like, it was just random. And I had to be mediated for stuff. And then they was like just saying stuff that I didn't get.
What does that mean?
And I was like trying to calm them down, like, oh yeah, my homeboy is just, you know, short tempered. And he's just like, he's like, I hear you, but I'm not listening. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Like, translate. What does
can you just say you're not here? Just say you're not listening. Right. Or just say you don't care. Right.
Yeah.
And then so then like so as I was going and stuff, like I experienced so many different people, different places, like you interact with all these. It's like such a great experience, and then you learn that all these people are kind of really you get people that really like have similar backgrounds to you, and you're like, yo, that's dope. It's like so
far from you, but you've had such a similar experience.
Exactly,
yeah.
and then you're like, this shit's it's a beautiful experience. I did so because like I self-diagnosed myself with ADD, so I do a lot of different things that I'm interested in.
Self-diagnosed, okay.
Right, and so I dabbled in so many different clubs. And so the thing is, like, every time I dabbled in it, it was like a whole different group of people that I would become friends and family with. And so I just basically just was like branching out more and more and more and more as I went, all throughout the whole time. And like I even like ran cross country and track for a bit, and so that's a whole different thing. Athletes and stuff. Then you become.
Were you running cross country or track in high school?
I did volleyball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember you running.
Yeah, no, but I ran for just for a bit though.
Got it. Okay.
It was cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I was like, I can do this. I guess whatever. It was like it was just really just because cross country I liked it better than track because track has an end.
Right.
I don't like it because you can see it. But in cross country you just running like the fields and stuff. And the thing is, the best part about it is you're in your head the whole time. That's the beautiful thing.
Right.
You're in your head for like at least an hour. It's the max.
Which we love.
Yeah. So we're like, I'm letting my head the whole time. Like I can do this all day.
Right.
So and then just like I was experimenting with different because I learned to be very open with my religion. After becoming a Freemason, we learned to be very open-minded about stuff and open-hearted. And so you realize that all this stuff is really just lessons, laws. And so then once you get out of that mindset of being closed into a religion by itself, you realize that everything is really the same. The only difference is certain people change certain things to make certain things look good for themselves.
That's crazy. I want to do religious studies.
Oh yeah, see the thing is, we do that.
Religion fascinates me because like you said, they're the same.
They really are. And so I dabbled in so many different just books, I looked at one of my friends was Imogene. Imogene's Buddhist.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she grew up Buddhist, and she actually, I think after my first year, she introduced me to Buddhism. And so that was actually one of the first experiences I had with another. But the thing is, the reason why was because I was already questioning it as it is. So I was already like that.
What is it though?
Huh?
So what is it?
So basically, Buddhism is just basically the type of way I've learned from her, from like the people that she showed me to. It's more so about oneself.
Okay.
So it's like so you know how they say atonement. So the thing is they call it at one minute. So the yin and yang basically represents your good and your bad.
Right.
So the at one minute means that your whole self is who you are. So instead of being like, oh, I want to get rid of these sins, basically, confess. Instead of doing it that way, you're like, well, I know I did bad, but now I just gotta do better. But the thing is, the bad and the good both make me who I am now.
It's like repenting in Christianity and then just being forgiven for it, and then.
But it's not even about that because it's like all about self-responsibility.
So recognizing the bad that you
did. You did do the bad, but you realize that it was bad, and so then you just do better.
Okay.
And so that's mostly what it's mainly about. It's like, okay, well, I know I did these things, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, I did them, but the thing is, at the end of the day, you can't change it. Even if you tell somebody else about it, it's still not going to change what happened.
You can't take it back.
Exactly. So the good and the bad are what they are. And the thing is, there's going to be lessons learned that's going to teach you better morals in your life.
Right.
And then that's when you do better.
Right.
And then you grow from it that way.
Okay. So what's Buddha though?
Buddha was just a Jesus.
Okay.
Muhammad. All he is just a prophet.
Got it. Okay.
He just got came in and was like, oh, someone told me some stuff, I'm gonna just teach y'all.
Got it.
But the thing is, like, if you ever see the like a shrine or that they would have, all it is a mirror. That's all it is.
So is there a book to it?
I mean, they have like laws, like lessons and stuff. But the shrine is just like really just a mirror to show you yourself, and so you can like talk to yourself about what you got going on with you.
So it's all about basically like self-awareness, and if you make yourself a better self, you make yourself a better world.
Yeah.
More so.
Yeah. More internalizing it than anything else.
Okay.
So and then like the chant that they taught us is I've been using it the whole since I learned it, and it's like really been helping me. Like I won a third place prize for my oral petition research. doing the chants while I waited to present.
Really?
Yes. So I had the chant in my head in the background, and then I threw words out: regurgitation, memorization, confidence, stuff like that. The whole time the other guy was going, and then so once I was done, I went out there confident, smooth. Even though it was a question that I didn't answer right, I still answered it stupidly, but nobody knew.
That was confident, right?
Exactly. And then I won my prize that time. That was the first time I even won something. I had been presenting this whole time, and I've only won twice ever. And it was only the times when I did oral presentation. So that's when you have a PowerPoint. So I always was doing posters.
Got it.
So yeah, so it's like a difference, you know, like and so like it was like kind of like, you know, like the thing is, it's like how I do it is like I'm really big on trial and error. So how I see it is like, okay, if I like this, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Right.
Because then my last year of college, I got into capoeira, which is like a Brazilian martial art. It's like Afro-Brazilian martial art. And so the thing is, like, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Right.
And it was like, we learned about the fact of us creating it, so it made it so much more important for us. And so the thing is, it was like trial and error.
Like us black people?
Africans made it. And then when they were slaves in Brazil, we came together and made one unified martial art. But it's like a dance, so they trick people that way.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And so so the thing is, I enjoyed it and I loved it, and that was another experience that I had.
Right.
I was just branching out, and you just realize, damn, that's crazy. And then what's funny is when I graduated and I saw like all the people going on stage and stuff, and I knew so many people. I was screaming the whole time.
Right.
I was like, woo!
Right.
I was like, okay. I was like, oh, you too. But yeah, just like that. For me, like what's keeping me going is just the fact of every time I do something different, like my family doesn't even like shun me for it. You would think like growing up like Christian, my mom would have hated me for doing something different or whatever, you know, like
pick something, stick to it.
And so when I did the Buddhist thing, whenever I was telling her about it, she even was like, oh, I thought about it too, low-key. But somebody had got it back into it, whatever. But the thing is, anytime I do something different, I think it's more so about, you know, the lifestyle change and seeing that they're really for real about that. So anything I did, I was for real.
Right.
And so the thing is, she see it, my family saw it, everybody would see it, and then they would be confident, like, oh man, they'd be like, my mom loves talking about me.
That's my mom. I'm like, bro, I think you just lying in there. Like she be talking sometimes.
My brother does it too. My brother does it, my mom does it. I don't even have to talk. Like that's the crazy thing. Like I don't even have to talk. I just walk in and they be like, because I also became a vegetarian. And so the thing is, it's like anything I do that's different is always like, oh yeah, he's this and he's that and he's that. And I'm just like, I didn't even get to say my name.
Right. Or they know you before you even get there.
Right. Oh, I heard you were doing this and doing this. Like, and then so, you know, and then like now it's like I'm like really trying to like, you know, build something, you know what I'm saying, for my life, for my people, you know, my family.
So are you Buddhist? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I mean it is Buddhist, but I mean I don't know.
Say Buddhist, or you just more sticking with that?
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. Okay. So I wouldn't really like say, you know, even though it's funny because I just got it just.
I'm looking at it. I'm
yeah,
like, this what we are?
No,
right?
Buddhist. I was going to a party. A Buddhist came to me and gave me this and this. Yeah, and it's like $5 donation or something like that. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, hey, I like it.
Right. I'll keep it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, but like, I wouldn't really like put it into a category, I guess, whatever. Because the most recent book I've been reading is the Moorish American version of the Quran.
Okay.
Where it talks about the parables of Jesus' life between 18 and 33. Yeah. So the whole time in the Bible there's that time lapse. So they talk about that time lapse. And it's like basically it's like each parable is lessons. And so like those are the lessons I've been reading and learning about. So it's like different things you think about that are different. Like you're like, man, it's like stuff that I never really thought that would be that way. And then the thing is, it was like he even like has it to where he thinks of, well, they say Allah, but think of Allah as being eternal. Like he never speaks out to it or anything like that. It says he never asks for an outside help. Because even when he originally had his issues, like going on, like trying to like having like some, he was trying to get back to himself.
So is Allah like a Jesus?
Allah is God. It's just it's just a different language.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And so basically, Jesus was just like going through his own trials and tribulations. He was trying to get back to where he was. And so he like went to a forest and he basically just internally like did a challenge for himself.
Mm-hmm.
There was no outside external stuff journey. There was no oh help me.
Outside factors.
It was just like I'm in here and I'm gonna take responsibility for what I've got going on because I know I messed up.
Right.
And so then you sit there and you like either you meditate or you pray or whatever, and it's like that will come and then that manifestation will happen eventually. Mm-hmm. You just gotta wait for it, And so that's what it was. So
that's what I want to read up on. I think religion is interesting. Yeah. Like you say, I think it's one big umbrella that pretty much is they're mirroring each other. Because we love to be different.
Right.
So it's like, oh no, you're gonna be a Buddhist, I'm gonna be a Christian. It's like, no, we're all kind of fighting for
it's
the
all the same thing.
And we love our own translations and perceptions.
Some people want to utilize it for slave man.
Right.
Yeah. Talk about cussing hand and stuff. We're not gonna talk about that, are we?
I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's both drink our water on that one. Open my eyes a little bit though. I'm gonna look into that. I need to defer my loans for a little bit. Maybe I'll do a religion too.
Yeah, I'm good.
I really I printed out the stuff and everything, but they didn't have enough online classes when I wanted to start. So now I got the time. So yeah, I'm gonna look into it. Well, thanks for that, girl. From now on know.
Man, it's a great discussion, Tanna.
It is. I enjoyed this. I love this.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Tanna.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.